Hey, good morning everybody and welcome back to the homestead. Oh, it's a beautiful morning. Here we are in mid-July. Mid-July, things are really starting to take shape. All of our tomato plants have nice little green tomatoes on them, and the Swiss chard, we've been eating Swiss chard left and right, kale. We've been pulling some celery branches off the celery, of course, and potatoes. Will be giving us potatoes in about 2 weeks. But right now, we have some work to do with the onions. Here we are in mid-July, and what happens? Our onions begin to bulb up, and we have 3 important tasks to do with those onions at this very instant, right at this time, mid-July. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we want to double check and make sure of, don't forget the weeds. Listen, you've come this far with your onions. They're just now beginning to bulb up. This is when they probably need you the most. So let's just come along. Most of the weeds at this point of the summer are going to just be on the outside, on the periphery. So I like to just go in and just make sure that our onions are not getting a lot of weed pressure. On our homestead, most of the weeds come in the form of crabgrass. Luckily, crabgrass is quite easy to pull out. Our onions don't like to compete with weeds. So it's really worth it to get that crabgrass, especially the crabgrass. It's very invasive. Every once in a while in the middle of your onion row, you'll see some interior weeds. If it's easy for you, get rid of those. For the most, you're not going to see a lot in there though, because our onion foliage is so tall that it's just shading everything out. Not the best environment for growing weeds. Earlier in the season, I would put the bench across the row and just straddle the onions and pull myself along and weed and top the onions at the same time. But I can't do that now because the onions are so tall. Speaking of which, onions being tall, let me tell you about the next thing to watch out for. So we've talked about this before, but we don't want our onion leaves to get too awfully tall. I'll come through here and do a really good job of pruning these onion leaf tops. Why would I do that? Well, the tops of the leaves become so heavy that they can actually bend over, like these right here. Look at this. These have already bent over, and what that does is it can actually pinch off the nutrients going to the bulb. We do not want that. We don't want those nutrients pinched off. So we don't want our onion leaves to become very top heavy. Here's another one right here. I don't know if you can see it. Try to keep those cut off. There's a lot of controversy out there in gardening land about whether or not this is really necessary. We tend to think that it is a good idea, so we will do this. We will prune our onions 2 or 3 times a season. The number 3 item that we do on our midsummer onion checklist is we like to feed the onions. Now this is midsummer and those onions are just now beginning to bulb up. So this will be our last feeding of the onions. And we have here a fish emulsion. It's got an NPK of 2, 5, 0.5. That's what we use, and the best I can figure for a ratio is with this watering can, considering how much it holds, I give it 2 of these measuring cups. One and 2. I always put the cap on right away in case there's an accident. And then of course we fill it with water. I like to rinse off the cup. We'll fill that up with water and then we will apply it to the onion bulbs. Try to get it near the roots. It's the roots, of course, that really need the fertilizer. And with that, we can go to the field and apply our fertilizer. Well, there we are. We've completed our 3-point checklist on our onions. We've done some weeding, we've done some pruning, and we've done some feeding of the onions. I want you to do one more thing though. This is for you. I want you to come along and find an onion for you to take back to the house. I'm going to be making macaroni salad later, and I could use an onion in it. So I'm just going to come along and see what I can find. Okay, so there you have it. Our top 3 tips for caring for your onions at the mid-season point. We still got about 2 to 4 weeks to go before these guys come out. We can start to take out 1 or 2 at a time if we need it for something. This is a nice little green onion. So there you go. You've been taking care of these things since the middle of February, which is when we planted the seed. So we've been working hard and we should congratulate ourselves. Okay, so thanks a lot, and I'll see you on the next one.